Okay, so in the last video, I got you to this point where we went from learning how to draw your animal, where you break it down into basic forms. Remember, we're focusing on Audubon, how he did wildlife, and we're working on our low country wildlife, where you have to choose an animal from around here. And you want your animal to make sure that it covers up a large portion of your paper, and it needs to overlap your border. You need to make sure that you at least have an 1.5-inch border drawn around your paper. Wherever your animal overlaps the border, that means that you're not going to draw the line of the border through your animal. So make sure that you either erase the line that goes through your animal or don't draw it through your animal. So now you see that I have the area of emphasis. We are going to color in this area, and this is going to be black and white surrounded. So I'm going to do a little bit of section right here so you'll understand what I'm talking about. This area is going to be left black and white, and this area is going to be in full color. So I've got the colors that I'm going to use. I've got green and black and brown, and I've got my shading pencil, and I've also got blue for the sky. So what I'm going to do, I want to show you how I'm going to do the outside. And I've got a regular pencil for the border. So for the border, I'm going to look at it and determine where am I going to have different shades. So it can look three-dimensional. I think I'll put a shadow under here. And then I gradually lift the pressure off the pencil to make it lighter. So I can make this look three-dimensional and not so flat. Notice it's a value change from dark to light. It's not all one shade. Now, normally I try to tell y'all to get rid of the lines and make them disappear, but on this particular project, you get to keep the lines. Okay, so your flower above the borderline is going to be black and white, and the flower below the borderline in the area of emphasis is going to be in full color. I'm using the side of my pencil point so I can have a little bit softer shading, and I'm doing short little strokes and little circles so that you can't tell which direction I'm shading in. I think I'm going to make this a little darker to give it more depth. Now, what's going to make this an area of emphasis? Well, the border is going to be in black and white, and the area of emphasis is going to be in color. So you've got a contrast of black and white next to color. I didn't mean to color that. Let me erase that. So right around this border, I'm making sure that my shadows are going to continue even if it's in black and white or color. I think I'll put a cast shadow from this bloom onto this leaf. And notice I'm stopping my gray, my shades of gray, right next to up to the line of the border. Now you're gonna see how I'm gonna add color on the inside. I think I'll put my shadows there first. I'm gonna take a little brown to make my shadows going down the center of the leaf. See, I'm continuing my shadow, even though that's black and white, this is in color. I think I'll put a cast shadow under the beak of the bird, this Carolina wren. I chose the Carolina wren because it's our state bird. And I chose Carolina jasmine because it's our state flower. Put another cast shadow there. Now I'm going to take my darker green and shade it over my brown. If you'll notice, I never just color straight out of the pencil, just one pencil. I'm blending colors all the time. Now I might just do a little shade of my darker green just to give it an undertone. Okay, then I'm going to go over it a little bit harder with my yellow green, just to blend the colors a little more, and then I'm going to use my shading pencil. I mean, not shading pencil, blending pencil. My magic pencil. Okay, here's my colorless blending pencil. And I'm gonna just blend right over it. Okay, you can also use the blending pencil a little bit with your regular pencil, just to fill it in some. Makes it a little bolder. Just like that. Now I'm gonna put the color on my flower. So I'm gonna get yellow and orange and I've already got the brown out. So I just want to put a little undertone of shades in there. Not a whole lot. And then I'm going to color this. I think this is part of a leaf. And then this is going to be gray because it's in part of the border. Put some shadows right here. Probably put a cast shadow where this leaf is overlapping this one. Put a shadow here. Short little strokes. Value change, dark to light. Then you'll put your color back in on this side of the area of emphasis. I think I'll put a cast shadow under here. Then I'm going to cover with a darker yellow, well, with the yellow green, but I'm bearing down a little harder. Then I'm going to put a little undertone of orange over my brown. Or an overlay of orange over my undertone of brown. All right, and then I need to do my sky around this area. So if you look at how I did this, I made it darker around the edges of the sky and made it lighter as it went towards the bird. That creates an area of emphasis as well, because the dark shadow going to the light, the bright area, is highlighting the Carolina wren. So I am just going to make this darker around the edges. Short little strokes. I'm bearing down where I want it to be darker. That means I'm touching the paper harder and not barely touching the paper when I want it to get lighter. So this entire rectangle is going to be colored in because this is the area of emphasis. Because my bird is the most important part of the artwork, even when it's in the border, it's going to be colored. So if you'll notice, all of this is colored, okay? So I'm going to put a little blue on his beak. A little brown. And then I'm going to go over it with black because it's darker. Then over here, let me show you how I blend it in. I'm going to put my darker tones in first. And I've got a photo of, or drawing of the wren, so I could do it. Now I printed mine out so that I could have it working under here so you could see what I'm looking at. You can just look at yours on your computer or your phone for reference if you don't have a printer. Okay, so I'm putting shadows in where I see them. Okay. Got some brown undertones. So I'm just going to color right over what I just did. So orange. And then this has a little bit of a yellow undertone. And some more brown around it. And then you'll use your blending pencil to really make it bold. And then I'll go back in and put some darker tones in. So I'm going to cut you loose so you can start on yours. Make sure that you are making it nice and bold. So here's the whole bird, completely colored, area of emphasis completely covered. My shading on here you can see a little bit better than what I have on this drawing, but you are going to color all of this with your pencil, and then you can go back over it with your colorless blending pencil. See y'all on the next video.